I know I'm unlovable. You don't have to tell me. Hey folks, you may be wondering why I am dressed like a 1980s post-punk icon. Reason number one is that I have too much time on my hands. But reason number two is because today I'm going to be discussing one of the most elusive and controversy-evoking singers of the 1980s. His legacy has managed to project both his persona as the frontman of the Smiths as well as a lot of his also successful solo projects decades later into relevance in the new millennia, which is incredible. If you haven't guessed at this point, I'm going to be discussing the charming man himself, Morrissey. It looks a little bit like a mullet from the side, but we're just going to ignore that, okay? Born Stephen Patrick Morrissey, though he later abandoned the first and second name, Morrissey is best known for being the lead singer of the critically acclaimed breakup band, The Smiths.
Are you kidding? I love The Smiths. Best breakup band ever.
From 1982 until 1987, the 5 short years which the Smiths were together, the frontman Morrissey developed a name for himself in the music industry, which has definitely lasted the test of time. This is not only a result of the Smiths' post-punk sound that combines both guitar and bass and drums, but also Morrissey's very melancholic lyrics, which are paired with springy, upbeat kind of music that makes really perfect satirical songs that people enjoy. I don't think anyone other than Stephen Patrick Morrissey himself would have been able to write such an upbeat song about one's girlfriend being in a coma. As much as they've definitely gained popularity due to social media in the last couple of years, and it may sound cliche, but I really do love the Smiths.
Sorry?
I said I love The Smiths.
I would love to analyze and pick apart the history of the Smiths and the bandmates' intertwined lore, and Morrissey himself do a deep dive into that. I am, however, a woman with a schedule, and this project is worth 8 marks. So, I'm really going to just be looking at a cross-section of what's worth analyzing, relating to both Morrissey and his relationship between his fans and the world, in the way that he presents himself. Morrissey's unabashed personality has really contributed largely to his acclaim, for the better and for the worst. Basically, here's my quick notes, my as brief as possible analysis of Morrissey and the world. So firstly, I'm going to talk about the way that Morrissey has presented himself through his music videos and really who he is in that form of expression. So I think Morrissey is very accurately represented in his music videos due to their simplicity. The Smiths' music videos aren't really anything more complicated than recordings of live performances that are kind of accompanied by colorful lighting and overlays. And, of course, Morrissey's incredible dancing. He is the most carefree, noodle-looking man in the world. Personally, I think the Sheila Take a Bow music video is the best representation of kind of what they were trying to capture in most of their music videos. How can someone so young sing words so sad? And after having looked at the catalog of music videos from the Smiths, I really do think that this style of music video is suitable for Morrissey himself, showcasing that he wasn't really all about the glamour of the music industry. You look at a song like Frankly Mr. Shankly, and you can kind of understand that Morrissey often expressed his distaste for the music industry and the way that things worked.
Frankly, Mr. Shankly, since you ask, you are a flatulent pain in the ass. I do not mean to be so rude. Still I must speak frankly, Mr. Shankly. Oh, give us money.
In this song, he comments on consumerism and defying his own record label, which I think is hilarious. He was such a sassy guy. And a fun fact about the Smiths is that their namesake, the band's name, was given to them by Morrissey due to the fact that he thought it was the most ordinary, boring name possible for a band, right? And here it is, gone down in history, being the most common last name on the planet.
We call ourselves the Smiths because you decided we were called the Smiths.
And I decided because it was the most ordinary name. And I think it's time that the ordinary folk of the world showed their faces.
I really just love the music videos because they go to show that Morrissey wasn't trying to become some kind of idol that he wasn't, and he was really just representing himself in the music in the way that he wanted to. This is also equally as accurate through his swingy dance moves that I love so much.
My only weakness is a list of crime. My only weakness is, well, never mind, never mind.
As I've said, he's literally like a noodle. He's so intense and he's so into it, he's so passionate, but at the same time he seems carefree and he's really consumed by this world that he's created in his own mind. And I think that's great that he's representing himself in that way. And if you're going to try to argue, Katrina, these music videos are simple because it was the 1980s, I think it is a result of Morrissey himself, because this simple style of music video carries on throughout his future career in spite of technological developments. Even post-Smiths, he kind of sticks with this same kind of style. In one of his solo career music videos for the song We Hate It When Our Friends Become Successful, Morrissey, while sticking with this simple style, he also plays into another convention that he really enjoys, or seems to enjoy, which is the use of scenic imagery of London and the surrounding area in his music videos. In this particular music video, Morrissey and company can basically be seen frolicking around a hostel in Manchester. Let me tell you, the vibes in this music video, unmatched. Morrissey's lyrics, both during the Smiths and then in his solo songs, they often refer to locations throughout the United Kingdom, reflecting his UK-centered youth. Honestly, Morrissey portrays himself in his music videos as being this blasé, cool guy who is a bit prolific almost, as he's singing these poetic lyrics. I think, from what I've gathered from the music videos alone, he feels as though he is an expression of what his audience is maybe seeing or thinking or feeling. And this is strictly kind of the analysis that I can derive from just music videos alone. Like, this isn't even him talking, this is just his mannerisms and the way he behaves. I love this man. I want Morrissey, I want his brain studied in a lab. Him in interviews is so interesting, I could watch it for hours. I'm not saying that I agree with everything that he always claims in his dissertations to the public, but I genuinely could listen to this man yap about his sweet nothings for hours. In interviews during his Smiths era, which is his mid to late 20s, he really plays into this persona of being this tortured poet, so to speak. I also think this is incredibly ironic because he's publicly not a fan of, like, poets. This is a direct quote, actually. He once said, "Any fool can think of words that rhyme," and I think that's hilarious. This is the man who wrote the most genius lyrics that I have ever heard. I was looking for a job and then I found a job. Maybe if you've only seen one clip of something that Morrissey once said, or a video from a concert or something like that, you might think that this is kind of a persona that he keeps up. But if you are to look at the catalog of interviews which were conducted even from his youth all the way up until now, you can kind of see that he portrays this woe is me aura all along the way. It kind of leaves you to believe that he is genuinely being open and honest, and this is his grand soliloquy. Like, these interviews is truly a representation of who he is. An interview that I'm going to touch on is a 1985 interview for Studio One, in which he discusses optimism versus pessimism, as well as his childhood.
Did you have a very painful youth?
Yes, I think I did, and yes, I most certainly did. And it becomes difficult to talk about it because people think it's your total standpoint and you're trapped in your adolescence, and here I am plunging towards 26, yet I'm still talking about those times. I'm not really encased in that period, but it was painful. I mean, it was very troublesome, and I can't really forget it.
Are you a pessimist, though, or an optimist?
I think I'm an optimist because I'm here and I'm doing this. I think if I was a total pessimist, I would never have bothered. I would have just, stayed in bed and didn't bother to do anything. So I think I'm an optimist.
So I'm not gonna lounge here in my Morrissey costume and pretend that I know every single thing about his childhood, but I did some research, and this seemingly miserable and tragic time that he makes reference to in this interview, he grew up in a working class family, son of a porter and a librarian, and he has said before that he used pop music to escape his bouts of depression, which, so real, I gotta give him that. Sometimes in his interviews, he comes across as like a moody 17-year-old who thinks nobody understands him, and that this is really carried on into his genuine career. I think in this interview specifically, he is really portrayed as this jaded guy with a tragic past, and I guarantee you the 1980s emo teens probably ate that up. So, as a bit of a journalist myself, I really, really like this interviewer's question about optimism versus pessimism. He gives you this super jaded answer. Rather than just calling himself out as a pessimist, he gives you the most pessimistic view on optimism that he possibly could have conjured. Like, this really was a glass half empty, glass half full kind of question, and he responds with, "If I was a total pessimist, I think I wouldn't have even bothered." Who are you? Like, the tough thing about being the jaded guy with a tragic past, who is also an incredibly successful musician, is that it's very easy to come across as arrogant, and I will say that in this interview he does. And quite frankly, he does in a lot of the interviews throughout his career. And if you thought it was just a phase, it was not. 38 years later, he does this interview with Good Day New York. This wig is so itchy. Like, it's not even funny. So in 2023, during his 40 Years of Morrissey tour, he conducts this interview, and he still has this aura of being incredibly sophisticated.
When you look back at your 40 years, what stands out?
Well, everything does. And it's very shocking because I really, really believed it would be 1 year at the very beginning. And I was, I spoke to the gods and I said I'd be very, very happy if it's just 1 year.
Why would you say only 1 year?
Because I'm a pathetically humble person. But I thought maybe 1 year. And the fact that I'm sitting here now and we're talking about it and that poster is there and so forth is really quite shocking.
Morrissey, in interviews, seems to be nothing if not self-assured.
I'm not the same old formula. I'm not the kind of singer who does the same old formula. I look at life very differently and very realistically.
Is there a highlight for you?
No. I've met everybody in my life that I wanted to meet.
Who else do we want to collaborate with?
Nobody.
I'm a pathetically humble person. Said literally no one ever. I like to hope that the way that he portrays himself is truly what Morrissey is like, and it seems to be that way, as there is 40 years of proof to back this idea. And he definitely does have some controversial takes. He's also a very avid activist for veganism and animal rights, which, that's cool. Be who you are.
I'm always on the side of the animal. The animals. No matter what the debate is.
I just love his persona so much. He is the personified version of everyone's like, woe is me, no one understands me kind of thoughts. Like, he is that guy. I think it's awesome that Morrissey is almost like his own archetype of this tortured poet that I keep mentioning. What makes it even better, one of my funnest facts about Morrissey is that he's actually immortalized in a tribute to him in an episode of The Simpsons with this character called Quillaby.
Every day I try to smile, but can't help but frown. Every day I draw my bath and pray I will drown. I step out my door and I take a deep breath, turn back inside and pray for my death. 'Cause everyone is horrid except me and possibly you. Oh, everyone is horrid and my dear, I fear you are too.
That is how you know that this is truly an archetype character. This is a celebrity that is to go down in history for who he was. I genuinely could talk about the Smiths all day. I could talk about Morrissey all day. I think he's so cool. I saw him in concert. Like, he seems like such an interesting guy. We may not see eye to eye on everything, which is totally okay, but he created some amazing art throughout his life, and I will have to give him that. So, as a tribute to one of my favorite artists, I would now like to leave you with a remastered version of one of my personal favorite songs by the Smiths in the style of Morrissey himself. This is Panic 2024 remastered version, Katrina's version. Thanks for watching.
Panic on the streets of London, panic on the streets of Birmingham. I wonder to myself, could life ever be sane again? The lead side streets that you slip down, I wonder to myself. Hopes may rise and the grass may, but honey pie, you're not safe here, so you run down to the safety of the town. But the panic on the streets of Carlisle, Dublin, Dundee, Humberside, I wonder to myself.
I've had this frickin' wig on for 2 hours.
16, clumsy and shy, I went to London and I booked myself in at the Y.